Today is March 25th, and Bantering with Boone is back. Let's do it. Let's talk Yanks.
Talking Yanks with old John Boy and Jake. Recaps galore, weekly awards, stat lines, steaming hot takes. Get your Yankees news from these two fine dudes. It's time for Talking Yanks. Talking Yanks with old John Boy and Jake.
Yeah.
Talking Yanks with old John Boy and Jake.
Oh, yeah. Hello and welcome to Talkin' Yanks. Thank you very much for tuning in. My name is Jimmy. His name is Jake. BBD's in the corner. Brought to you by SeatGeek. We got Bantering with Boone returning. Jake's wearing a nice gray Nike hoodie. I like that hoodie. And a bird dog shirt.
Yeah.
Crazy mistake to make. I'm wearing a Yankees hoodie I got from Kohl's. Shout out. And a hat.
Wow. A little free promo there for the big K.
Yep. And we talked to Boone exclusively about the
He's back.
Yarbrough signing.
Reveal. Boone's back. No, that's not.
Hey, he says Ryan Yarbrough's name in the course of the interview.
Yeah.
Spoiler.
The Funk.
It's good. Good spirits.
Yes.
Gave some real answers.
Yeah, it felt like a good combo.
Yeah.
To anyone tuning in, that is here because you want to hear us just like dig into the World Series or last year and get answers. You can.
Where are we putting that?
You can just. It's in our rear view.
We're putting that in our rear view.
That's last year. This is this year.
So you're not going to find that. So leave your angry comment and be on your way. We talked about decisions for this year, lineup construction, rest days in April, rotation, moving forward, 2025 Yankees. And got some good insight and some things he's being coy about, and I understand why, but for most part of that was a good combo. Throw it to it right now.
Yeah, I think let's get into it. Opening week, guys and gals. So if you're on this channel a lot, subscribe, share with your friends, all that good stuff. Because in 2 days, we're watching games that count.
I'm not ready, dude.
Nobody is.
Here's Boone. Welcome back. The first Bantering with Boone of the 2025 season. Is spring training done? Grapefruit League's done? You have one exhibition game?
We got the Marlins coming up here in a few hours, and then we're done.
Rivalry game.
Did you walk in today and feel like you were at the Rays complex?
Oh, no, we're down in Miami.
Oh, okay. I saw they were changing all the signs and all that.
Yeah.
That's bizarre.
Yeah, so I didn't get to see that because we were in Port St. Lucie yesterday. So some of the guys that stayed back that flew to Miami to meet us down here got to see some of that signage and changeover. So it'll be a little odd being there in a few weeks when we play the Rays in Tampa.
How much does the joy of spring training wear off for you? I got to say, these last couple of days, I've been like, stop homering and just save them for the season.
I like spring training. And I guess you get to this time and I think everyone's naturally ready to start the season. And, but in my chair, I always feel like there's more to do, so I'm never in a rush to get to the end. But I know certainly as a player, I remember feeling like, you get towards the end, especially if you've had a healthy spring and you've logged, for me at bats and innings and stuff, it's like, all right, let's get it going.
Well, we've seen some good at-bats logged at the top of the lineup. I know it was one of the questions that I think was getting to you for a little bit, and we had a lot of conversation about it. And then Austin Wells, it seems like, takes that over. He was only leading off, and for us, it was kind of a weird, dating thing. Like, hey, as long as, I guess if you guys are open to it, our heart's open to it. And it seems like so far it's working. I guess, how did that decision go down for you guys?
Really, I just kind of, I was obviously getting questions about that, even leading up to spring training, but certainly then in spring training. And really, in my view, I was making a case for 6, 7 guys all the time. And in my mind, Austin was one of those guys. Like I was like, especially against right-handers, what I think he's going to be as a hitter and become and how he profiles, I liked it. So pretty early on, I wanted to give it a go, and I think he homered at his first at bat, leading off, and I'm like, all right, I like that so far. But he's kind of taken to it. So we'll see. It could, remain in flux. There's guys that, could, as the season unfolds, I may switch that. If Jason Dominguez kind of gets settled and, you could see him profiling to be there. I could even see a guy like Ben Rice or Jazz or whatever going into that spot. So we'll see. And then against lefties, I flirted with Goldie there the other day, which isn't out of the realm of possibility either. So we'll see as it unfolds. But I think you can expect Austin in there, certainly opening day.
Does the thought of pushing the speed past the thump come into play there? Like putting that, to me, it makes the bottom of the lineup incredibly fun and dynamic when it clicks.
Yeah, it doesn't. I'm glad you kind of ask it that way, because it doesn't. The speed part does not factor into me where I'm putting them. But the way you ask that question, in the past, it's always like, well, you got to have the speed guy at first. And I don't know if that makes that much sense. Like, I want the guy that gets on base the best hitting first. And then, we have a chance in the middle of our lineup and on down to have Volpe, Jazz, Dominguez, Belly, like pretty dynamic speed and athleticism as you move through the order, which is pretty appealing, and hopefully, and something I feel like we've seen the last week or 10 days that these guys have started to go deeper into games and more full lineups. We've seen that speed on display a little bit, and it's pretty nice to see.
We do Talking Baseball with Trevor Plouffe, you, me, him, former third baseman.
Yep.
He talks about how sometimes the spring training isms of like, hey, we're going to hard 90s this year and taking the extra base. And he's like, sometimes that is what it is. You've got a team that the dynamics change. Is that really happening this spring training?
Yeah, I mean, we've seen it a ton, whether it's just like guys beating out a double play ball in a situation. I've seen a couple times that with Jason Dominguez where, first and third situation and can't turn two up. We had a double steal the other day with Jazz and Volpe. But there's a lot more opportunities for that with this club and the makeup of this club that's very real. And hopefully we can take advantage of that. It still comes down to, the quality of at bats and getting on base and driving people in. But that athleticism is certainly a part of our game right now, more than it has been in the past.
Yeah, the athleticism and balance is pretty nice. Obviously, last year you had the 1 and 2 in the league at the top, and then you had a lot of guys, I don't know, it didn't have an identity past them. It feels like at its best, and obviously you need a lot of things to click and go right, but the optimistic view here is that this lineup can have a pretty fun identity all the way down, as we were trying to come up with a rhyme for it, like, what was I saying? Pop at the top and speed underneath. That wasn't the best, but other people had better ones in our comment section.
Working on it.
I am excited to see it. I hope it all clicks because
and it's going to be important for, other young guys to take that next step too, like an Austin Wells, Anthony Volpe, Jason Dominguez, Ben Rice, all guys that we're super excited about and I think rightfully optimistic about, but we got to go out and do that.
Seems like Wells is lead off. I know anything can change when you get to the season, but through spring, he played one game, not lead off in the rest. And Judge too, you came out and straight up said that. Bellinger has been locked into the 3-hole. I'm guessing that's where he'll find himself to start the season with Goldie for. Is that kind of the flow?
I might switch that up. Like day 2, we face Nestor. Maybe I switch that up and flip Goldie and Belly, or even if I roll Belly at the top, I don't know if I'll do it right away. And I'll probably leave Austin in the leadoff spot against Nestor. But we'll see. But yes, first righty initially there. I think it's safe to assume that with Jazz fifth.
Whoa! Get ready for the season ahead with quality shades built to last. Our friends at Shady Rays have you covered with premium polarized shades that won't break the bank. Shady Rays is an independent sunglasses company offering a world-class product rated 5 stars by over 300,000 people. You know what? It might be 300,001 because I'm wearing my Shady Rays right now. I wear them pretty much every day. They become part of my signature because they are my signature. Thanks to Shady Rays, they made some Jimmy and Jake pairs. They've got a whole collection. Go check it out at shadyrays.com. And with code YANKS, 35% off your next pair of premium polarized sunglasses. So you see a pair of sunglasses, you're like, I like that. Wait, that's already a pretty good price. Oh, wait, why don't I use code YANKS? Save myself 35%. And now it's like, great. So, you know I'm not reading off a piece of paper. Go to shadyrays.com. Use code YANKS, 35% off. Code YANKS. Get yourself a pair. Summer's coming. Wow.
Summer's coming. The other offensive questions, backup catcher was a question, and third base obviously was a question going into spring. Escarra makes the team. Awesome story. Fun video. Not to knock you, but the video of him calling his mom, that was better of the two. So you got bumped.
Not knocking me. I totally agree.
Yeah,
It was awesome.
His mom, she put on a better show than you. It made me cry. Yeah. You have three lefty catchers, Boone. That's odd.
Yeah.
You know, Rice is still getting reps behind the dish. With Stan out, it seems like he's also kind of locked in, and Smith opting out to get DH at bats. Is there a need? Well, one, I guess, how do you balance three catchers? Obviously, Wells a starter, but the two potential backups are both lefties that hit.
Yeah. I mean, you know, when you have two catchers on a roster and they're both right-handed, you don't really think much about it. So I look at it as just kind of having that luxury of having a true third guy there that's probably going to, in Ben's case, play more of that DH role, maybe spot at first, give you that protection late in the game if you shoot Escarra in a pinch hitting role or something, or even if on a day Ben's not playing, you shoot him in a pinch rolling situation. You kind of have that freedom to do that. At the end of the day, they both we think can really hit, and they both can catch too. So like legit catch. It's not just, oh, we got this hitter that can go back there too. So it's, you know, it's a position of strength for us, we think, and we'll try and leverage it the best we can.
In the past years, I think our very first episode, we talked with you and asked you about how you utilize rest days in April. And you said, especially with the older guys. And last year was a younger core. Bringing Goldie in, you really only have Goldie and Judge is young 30s. But can we expect to see Goldie getting some DH days or rest days in April? Or because he's a guy that likes to play every day. So I was wondering how that's going to go.
Yeah, not necessarily. I mean, look, when we get into I'll pick my spots with them. And when we get into that first month where you get your first 7 in a row, 8 in a row, 10 game in a row, you know, then you try and pick your spots in there and kind of see how they're doing. And, you know, but not necessarily married to that. But I'm always mindful of that. Because the good thing about our position player group is, for the most part, they've all got a lot of reps. They've been built up. You know, they've logged innings in the field. They've logged a good amount of at-bats. So I feel comfortable with where they are in their buildup. But you're switching now all and going into, you know, cooler weather, and you know, as much as they play, you know, 7 innings a lot now and back-to-backs and 3 out of 4s, you know, they still haven't played 9 innings 10 days in a row, which is a different animal. So I'll be mindful of those things. And, but I don't have any plans to like, oh, I got to get this guy rest here. I'll look at the schedule and probably pick a day when we have those first several in a row that makes sense. Like, hey, I'm going to try and get you a day here where maybe it's a certain righty that I can load up our lefties in there. So we'll see.
Oswald is Waldo. Is that just righty lefty for a little bit? I mean, I saw the smile. The names are fun there. Is that going to be the game plan for a little bit? If there's a lefty, Peraza gets the first hack at it. If it's a righty, it's Oswaldo.
We'll see. I mean, I think you got to include Pablo Reyes in that.
Okay, I didn't know if we were talking Pablo Reyes or not, but I'll include him because those first lefty stats, Boone. I like that a lot.
Yeah, he's had a great spring too. He's playing really well, so he's in that mix too.
Okay.
Nothing's been finalized there. The final spots.
No, I think there's just too much that can go on industry wise that we're pretty much in our minds and organizationally set on what we're going to do if nothing changes. But there's a lot of things that happen that could be a move here or there.
Birdie.
Like obviously Yarbrough coming in, that affects things. If we do something else along those lines, whether it happens or not, that could affect things. So don't want to finalize anything just yet.
Makes sense.
Yep. I was looking at some of the managerial numbers from last year, trying to see what we can dig into this year. Here's something I found. Last season, you led the league in challenges overturned by percentage and in managerial ejections. Which one do you take more pride in?
Well, the overturn, that's Brett Weber doing his thing back there. He's really good at it. So
he had a 71% success rate, highest since 2018.
Yeah, although I don't know if highest percentage is definitely the right thing to judge. Like, that's I think there's an amount.
Knock yourself down. I was finding
challenges on the table, like, so there's times of games when it makes sense to be aggressive with something if you're unsure. But that being said, Webby's really good at it and on the ball with it all. So I do feel like it's something that when that comes up, when a situation comes up in game, we have a pretty good process and system in place to make sure we do a good job there. But that's Webby.
Your old pal Topper, he led the league, 47 challenges last year.
How many did we challenge?
You guys challenged 31.
Okay.
So you made it matter.
So maybe that next level of volume, I don't think we left any on the table, but you hope you certainly don't want to do that. And you don't want to, can't take that challenge home with you. But I always say it's not a lottery ticket either. So if we have the clear evidence that it's not being overturned, I don't want to just
throw it out there.
Yeah, because it's not a spin the wheel and we got a 10% chance. We got video stuff here we're looking at. So,
and the 6 ejections, you actually tied with Marmal, so you have to thank that fan in the Wendelstein game because he kind of put you at the leaderboard there. 5 were you, and 1 you took one for that.
Take the under this year.
Yeah,
really?
I don't know, Boone. You got a bunch of new guys. You got young guys. What if Goldie says, "Hey, Skip, you don't like me? You're not going to get ejected." That was a ball.
I don't think Goldie's saying.
A little ABS ripple effect. Like we've gotten pretty used to the tap the head, get a call changed. I feel like that's going to leak into the season a little bit. Now you're in the mix. I don't know.
Hey, you guys should know this, but I think I'm in the middle of the longest streak of my career without getting ejected.
Wow.
You're right. We should know that. That's my bad.
Yeah.
That's
like something you guys would present to me.
Yeah.
You realize you haven't been kicked out in 57 games? I don't know if that's the number, but I know it's a high number.
Yeah, I remember. I don't know how to find that. I found a stretch. You in 2018, you went 12. Hold on, you got 11 overturned in a row in 2018. Correct challenges. That's your longest streak. So you got to beat that this year. You and Webby. 11. Right. Last year you had 2 runs of 6. Do you think that the next time you manage a game in Wendelstadt's behind the dish, we should get a fan section that's constantly yelling? Because he's not going to want to get that wrong twice.
No, so I've had him a couple times since that. and we've had some fun. So I usually start out the game by saying, "Hey, Hunter, this is my voice."
Nice.
So we've actually had a laugh about it in since that game.
It's pretty good.
What let's do a little rotation quick because Rodon's getting the pill. We were playing this game on the same day that you guys kind of announced what's going on. I guess the question is, do you keep Rodon regular? Are you going to get all five guys through the first time, or is there going to be some feel with it with bullpen usage?
No, we'll probably go Rodon in game 5.
Okay.
Just because we have the 2 off days. So we prefer to keep him on that 6th day instead of a full 7 day. And then with Max, we'll make that decision with Max if we want him game 6, if we want him game 7. We'll make that call when we insert Carlos.
When's the Burns game? You're getting Corbin Burns now.
I think we get Corbin the last game. I'm guessing the last game of our series. So
free Burns. Box office. That's fun. New aces against each other. Does that go into your decision making?
Yeah, that's
the driving force.
I lead with that.
Hey, last year, the Yankees had the fewest outings by a starter of less than 80 pitches thrown. Is that?
Say that again.
Okay, so the least amount of games where the pitcher got taken out before throwing 80 pitches.
Okay.
So you guys had the most starts where the starting pitcher threw 80 or more pitches. It's a big shift from the years prior. And just wondering if that's personnel or was there a philosophy that went into, saving bullpen, getting guys deeper?
No, I mean, no, I always say, like, I think the biggest reason we won the East last year was the start our starting pitching got us off to. The first 2-3 months, they were so good and consistent and got us, we were in every game, literally every single game, and every guy took their turn except for we had a doubleheader day in Cleveland where Cody Petit had to start. That's the only time before Clark got hurt that the 5 we broke with missed a start, and they were all just super consistent, whether it was a 5 inning, 6 inning, whatever it may have been. I think that's the biggest reason we ultimately, obviously, we scored a ton of runs and we did a lot of good things along the way, but our starting pitching the first 2.5, 3 months set the table for us really well. And look, I think it's not the only way to do it, but I think for your bullpen to be at its best, you've got to log innings from your starting rotation. Unless you have massive, optionable depth, of relievers that you can up and down. I think you got to get quality innings from your starting pitching if you're going to realize your potential as a club.
I agree. That's one of the things in 2023 that I remember looking at and being like, the bullpen got absolutely just kind of worn down
and
as you went.
Because we had our struggles at times in the bullpen. We weren't always, a great bullpen necessarily, especially Lowe went down early and Hamilton was in and out with injuries and we had some guys banged up. But, maybe part of the reason we kind of got settled in September and then obviously in October from a bullpen standpoint was, those guys were probably not too taxed or overused to a point of they were still able to be at their best when it mattered the most.
Yeah. Yeah. And you had Heel, who you had a guy there where you could have said, no, we're going to take it lighter. There's restrictions. And you said throughout the year, no, there's no restrictions. He's just going to pitch, which did help you out, keeping everyone fresh. Would you be able to guess your top 4 relievers in innings pitched last year? I made Jake do this game because it's fun.
Wow.
Trivia before the
top
trivia.
4 innings pitched.
Out of the relief innings. Weaver's number 2.
Holmes.
He's number 1. Weaver's number 1. Sorry, then Holmes number 2.
Okay, Weaver, Holmes. Not Tommy, not Cousins, not not Hill.
Hale's 4th.
Hill's 4th?
Yeah. And third is Talkin.
Talkin, yes.
It was a wild
That's
exercise.
unbelievable.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's a little. So we weren't whole the whole year from a bullpen standpoint. You know, Tommy was a late start, and yeah, so that's a great point right there. And obviously, we got Hill, you know, deeper into the season. Same with Cousins, all guys that emerged as key people for us.
That's just a reminder when you see Matt Blake and Mike Harkey today. Give him a little handshake. That's nice.
Yeah.
That's a nice feature on the Yankees these past couple years.
Yeah.
New bullpen piece, Fernando Cruz.
Yes.
He's got a nasty pitch. You had said, talking about him, that it was along the lines of like wanting him, like, you know, he's making better decisions. And I don't know if you want to expand on that, but if you did, I was curious. Do you mean like location, pitch mix, or?
No, just pitch mix. I think he was trying different things as far as, you know, outside of his split, you know, like what's a good attack count, what's a good first, like two different guys. So he's playing with a cutter and, you know, working a slider and sinker and four seam, like what's the best way to ultimately get to the split. And I thought he had his best outing yesterday against the Mets, which was really good to see. He came in, got a strikeout with 2 outs when I brought him in after Stroh, and then went back out. We had an error behind him, but it was his best strike throwing, command, pitch usage, in my opinion, of his spring, which was really good to see as we head into the season. So that was one of the things positives I took out of yesterday, was kind of him. And I feel like it was starting to happen where he's just tightening up his package and like, all right, this is what we need to go to from a repertoire standpoint with him. And obviously the split is the feature.
Splitters are taking over the league, which is, it's a very fun pitch. So I'm enjoying all the splitters out there.
Talking about my bird dogs. Today's episode is brought to you by Bird Dogs. Bird Dog shorts aren't boxy or stiff like khaki shorts. They move with you. Oh. The material feels amazing. Bird Dog shorts look great and are versatile. I've got a couple. Oh, Jimmy just busted out a new pair with them. I have a pair very similar to that. I've worn them to the gym. I've worn them to happy hour. I've worn them to sad hour. You can wear them whenever you want. I'm talking about my bird dogs. The shorts look good, feel good. And for a limited time, our listeners get a free hat with any order when you use code YANKS at birddogs.com. Get this hat completely free when you use code YANKS at birddogs.com. Go click around the website. You're going to find something you like there. Talking about my bird dogs. Code Yanks. Angels. They just banned cell phones in the clubhouse. Do you guys hear something like that? And you're, hey, is this something we should think about? Or do you guys look around and you're like, nah, we don't need to do that. We don't care.
I haven't gone there yet. I have a rule in our training room or in the weight room training room when you're getting hands-on stuff with off. But otherwise, no, I don't have that rule yet.
So weight room, training room, no phone?
Not no phone, but if you're getting like hands-on work with like another guy.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Like getting a haircut, you're not pulling out your phone. You're talking to the barber.
I am, yes.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't pull out my phone. I feel it's rude, but some people do.
And the barber?
Yeah.
Oh, I just sweat under that thing.
I just sit there like this and
Yeah.
don't fuck me up.
No, we let it rip.
Who do you think would have the least problem if you walked out today and said no more phones in the clubhouse? You know, like, be like, okay, DJ,
DJ and Goldie, yeah.
Maybe Judge. I don't know. They're all whatever.
I watched I had my first Goldie head tilt. I think the Yankees social team did something like, oh, what song can you sing every lyric to? And Goldie was like, not much of a music guy. And I was like, that's what I like. That's what I like. I'm excited for that.
You don't like the ABS challenge system. Why not?
I just honestly hated it. Just the frivolous 1-0 challenge in the second inning, stop the game. Boom. Oh, it changes. Now it's not 1-1, it's 2-0. Inevitably, you're going to have the last play of the game because you're going to, in theory, go to pocket with it. So you could have, a big win overturned on a ball an inch one way or the other, and it changes. I just know.
Would you set rules?
I think I'd like I'd be okay with like one. You get one, and you don't keep it. You get one challenge.
I think I'd like two.
Right or wrong, you get one.
Two and you don't keep it. I know. Yeah.
Let's hit the egregious. We know big spot. Boom.
There's a lot of people that say, if you can get the call right, just get the call right. But then there's a lot of, flow of the game and all that. If this gets instituted, I mean, and did you have any rules in spring? Like you're saying, it's the first inning.
No rules in spring.
Okay.
We had a meeting on, kind of going through and thinking out, now you got to have your players instinctively thinking leverage and when makes sense. And so you'd have all that. I think you're going to have, if you have it, you're going to have years where not necessarily our locker room but you'll have locker rooms fighting over this stuff. Like,
right.
I'm sick of you challenging, I don't know. I'm just not on it. And I know, look, I'm the guy that gets kicked out and argues the strike zone and everything. I really think our umpires are as good as they've ever been. They keep getting better. The training they're doing, we just know when they miss by an inch. Right. And I'm all over you when you're missing by an inch. But the reality is, especially a lot of these young guys coming from the minor leagues that have trained on all this, I feel like they're getting better and better all the time. And I don't think I want it.
In non-American sports and cricket and other rugbies and stuff, like the challenges are only for the people on the field. No matter what, they can't look at the Jumbotron and have the 10-second relay. It's just like the people involved in the play. I think that would be interesting for plays at first. I think you would get rid of a lot of the ticky-tack, all that. It would be the first baseman, or maybe the first base coach can do it, like the three right there. Because that would get rid of the egregious
ones. First base one, especially in Yankee Stadium. I'm telling you, I have the best view. and that's the one I feel like they miss a lot.
Yeah.
The bang bang one, they're on the wrong side of too much. And I'm telling you, I have the best view from Yankee Stadium because I know right away, safe or out.
They should have invented a soft glove. That's how umpires do it.
I'd be good with them looking right at me and I go boom or down.
The Yankees have invented a lot of equipment in their history. I don't know if you know that. Nick Johnson invented the thumb thing. Yogi Berra invented the finger out of the catcher's glove. Brett Gardner invented the oven mitt. Goldie has a chance to use the thing I just invented, soundproof first base glove. Umpires would have no idea how to call out or safe at first.
Well, I think that's what I hear they use, and I think that's wrong because they miss it a lot, too much.
Well, they say that
they're going on quote sound, and I don't think that's the right way to do it.
They go on sound, but then the replay is not when it hits the pocket; it's just when it enters the glove, and that makes no sense to me.
When we're at home at Yankee Stadium, I think the ump should just look at me, and I'll tell you.
Right.
Safe or out.
You have my vote.
Start doing that for the broadcast, and yes, we'll just show you, and they'll be like, "Well, Boone had this."
Yes.
Awesome. All right, you got trivia?
Yeah, I think we've got a trivia to bring it home, Booney, as you guys get ready for the season, and we're excited for year 3, man. This is going to be.
Oh wow.
Yeah, right. And we're getting better every year. We interview-wise, and we missed the postseason. We went to the World Series, so we're going to go to win it all this year. Trivia is brought to you by The Tasty, the golf tournament we did. I forget if you remember, we were making fun of Joe's golf swing, but we just posted that on the channel yesterday, and it got a ton of love. If you're looking to lose a little bit of time, Joe's crushes. Anyways, your past 7 opening days, you've had different left fielders.
Oh, geez. There we go.
Can you get it?
No chance.
Give me let's see, I've got 7 options, and it should be 8 with Jason. Is that official?
We'll see.
That
Okay.
was sneaky, Jake.
Okay.
Yeah.
Give me 5 out of 7. I'll give you 1 strike.
Guardy.
Yep, 2018.
And 2020.
21.
Did Hicks ever get a left field debut?
No Hicksy.
One guy's still on the team. And will be starting opening day at a different position this year.
Cabby.
Yep. 2023.
Cabby, wow.
You can get last year.
Can I?
Yeah. Yeah. He was with you for all. He was with you for all
Flagged me
160.
up this morning
He was with you for all 162.
in left field.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, I'm just not there mentally right
All right. Verdugo.
now. Yeah, give me the. Oh yeah, Doogie, Guardy, Cabrera. Give me the others.
One changed his name to Jackson for a time being. Back to Clint.
Oh, Frazier,
And then Joey Gallo, now a pitcher.
Joe Gallo. That's right.
Big G.
And Stanton, 2019.
Oh yeah, Big G.
Big G. How about that?
And then who? That's 6, or is that all of them?
That's all of them. 7
Wow.
In the last 8 seasons.
All right.
Yeah.
Here we
Well,
go.
And Dominguez
new one
this
this
year,
year.
confirmed.
You'll have a new one this year.
Okay.
Bam. Not Cabby. All right. Thanks, Booney.
All right, guys.
Coach. Yeah.
Take care, Blanche.
It's an exciting time for sports, spring training, as you know. Also, the most exciting month in college basketball is here with underdogs ready to fight their way to the top and established teams ready to defend their titles. This is the time to lock in your picks with our partners at DraftKings. Right now, all new customers who bet just $5 will get $200 in bonus bets instantly when you use code YANKS. So download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. New customers use code YANKS. Bet just $5 on any wager and get $200 in bonus bets instantly. That's code YANKS only at DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours. And that was Boone struggling to answer trivia. He did not like that trivia question.
He did not like that. Yeah, we were a little surprised. Hey, he's locked in on the season.
Yeah.
Part of me respects that. What do we like?
I like him giving Wendelstadt shit, saying this is what my voice sounded like. That was
That's good.
fun insight.
It's good dude stuff.
No phones while you're getting work done from a trainer. I
Right.
think that's to respect the training staff.
Right.
So they have a no phone rule as well.
Right.
Take that, Angels. Doesn't like the challenge system. He's got such a different perspective on it than the fan. I think
Yes.
like if he was watching as a fan, getting the call right, he's not against that. It's just like how it breaks up the rhythm of managing players' decisions.
The other side of Booney is obviously being a former player. It feels like he's got that blinder off a little bit. Like, I don't know. I feel like if I told 29-year-old third baseman Aaron Boone, hey, that ball that you know is off the plate that got called a strike, you can make that a ball.
Yeah.
I think player Aaron Boone would really like that.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
It does enter. He also is like, when you have to think about leverage and stuff, like some batters are so much better brainless.
Right.
I think of you
Live there.
and Bernie and
live
Annie.
there. Me and my dad. I like that he was honest about like rotation stuff. He could have been a little more
Yeah, was that
cheeky
out
about
there? That Rodon's going to start game 5?
I don't believe that had been said yet. I think they had said the first 4 games, unless it happened yesterday after I did my surveying.
So
I
that's
think that's new.
nice. And then, I was having a moment of panic when third base and left field was getting brought up that I was like, wait, there's still one player position open. And I was like, should I say the P word? And then he threw Pablo Reyes out there. So I think that's kind of confirmation Pablo's on the team unless the business of baseball happens and they do get another right-handed hitter like they have with John
I think
Birdie.
Pablo's on the team. Peraza might.
He doesn't have options.
Exactly. Like could be a move industry-wide that they won't say.
Interesting.
Suppose either way.
He's still the backup shortstop. I don't know. I don't believe in that.
I'm just
Pablo's
saying.
played a lot of short.
Yeah. I'm just saying Pablo's versatile.
Right. Yeah, I guess I can't truly speak on.
It would only be if someone came calling for
Right.
Peraza.
The-
But I
the
understand
other
why
move
he
has
can't
to
lock
come.
any of that in because today or tomorrow anything could happen.
Right.
The Yankees, like, the last several years, the last 24, 48 hours before the season starts, they always do something. So.
And I liked that he said if Dominguez settles in, he likes him at the leadoff spot.
Yeah, that was
And then
interesting. He
started
didn't have to say that.
He didn't have to say that. That he started naming names, and I was waiting for him to throw Volpe's name out there, and he didn't. He said like Jazz maybe at one point.
Yeah.
But Dominguez was
Even
the first.
he threw
name.
out Belly.
He threw out Ben Rice too.
Yeah. So, closing the loop, Pablo Reyes, 30 career starts at shortstop, bad numbers. So I still think they like Peraza running-wise and backup shortstop-wise. Obviously, business of baseball. And then, I was wondering, it's kind of funny. We come up with there's a Boone question documents, and you're always, okay, what other conversations are going to pop up or anything else we want to talk about? I was like, no Volpe on here. And I was like, thinking of Volpe on the fly, I was kind of, his first year they let him, it was the exit velo Yanks. They just let him swing as hard as he can because when you hit the ball, it goes farther, which that wasn't a good approach. Volpe last year,
He's back to that.
he went to more contact. He boosted his batting average, but there was less power. So I debated if there was something about.
Well, he's back to swinging harder.
Well, we'll find out in the season because spring training you could just be working on your power swing or something like
but
that.
It was
he said
matching what he did in the
Right.
playoffs.
Yeah, he said that.
Right.
Like
all of
and
that.
and it's like doing playoff Volpe. So I think he's going back to year one Volpe approach wise.
Well, playoff Volpe was just a good all around
Very
baseball
good,
player.
yes.
So
So
that's
what
the
that
goal.
is.
That's the
Yes.
goal. But otherwise there's not too much there in a big year for him.
No.
But even he's talking about verse lefties. He mentioned Goldie and some other stuff. Like I thought that would be an easy Volpe layup, and
Let him hang out. Him and Jazz.
that's
do their
fine.
thing.
Speed at the bottom. He likes that. He liked the way you asked that question.
He liked it. Because
Really
it
did.
is like you don't need speed at the top anymore
No.
if that's where all your sluggers are going to be. It actually makes more sense
Yeah.
to put your speed at the bottom, which is
Where you need to create stuff.
it's like baseball's changed in a lot of ways. Like the two hitters where you put your best now a lot more times. People have accepted that.
Right.
They kind of haven't accepted like the Schwarber leadoff. Speed at the top still helps, but like it's better than dumping all your slows at the
Well,
bottom.
that's what he clarified. He's like, on base is the priority, which, I think if you've been watching baseball for a little bit, you understand that, especially with Aaron Judge there. And I think any baseball player, you'd like to have speed. Thanks, Jake. But also, I do think that can come back a little bit. Like the Phillies are actually talking about changing their lineup this year. Because, part of the reason is getting one more at bat at the top. That if you have a speedy guy that can get on late in the game, that can also affect the ball game. So the priorities have changed a little bit. That I don't know if I'll ever be comfortable with the true meat sack at the top. Whoa.
Crazy that last year the Yankees had two of the worst base runners in the entire league, 1 and 2.
Yeah.
And they got on base at like historic rate combined, mostly Soto.
Mostly Soto.
But Soto was,
Labor by the end.
I was looking at it. I was like, oh my goodness. I never like put it together in that way.
And then, the only other
You don't
thing.
need speed, but you don't need running into outs.
No.
either.
No. The only other. I think I had more Ben Rice questions, but they just came off as like weird Jake. Like I was doing like is Ben Rice the neighbor next door in the movie who's starting to become hot? It's like, oh, you know, he went to college. He started benching a little bit. Like Ben Rice is more beefy. If he has a good year this year, he probably gets the Judge Teeth thing, and then it's like, oh, Ben Rice. But that's not a question. That's just me kind of
Just chatting.
thinking Ben Rice is a cutie patootie.
You could agree. There's a lot we didn't get to. We didn't get to like Max Fried, Devin Williams, bullpen.
Hopefully they're set it and forget it, you know?
Yeah, we only got much time.
And
so.
yeah, you lose. I thought about doing the bullpen hype thing, but you lose Boone for 5 minutes there saying, you know, Yeri De Los Santos has a good fastball. And you're like, nice.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yarby's got the funk. Who's got the funk?
It is. I know we reposted a video on social media, but unlike a lot of sidewinders, a lot of sidewinders, their first move, you see them getting to the side.
Yeah.
Yarby's first step is like normal pitcher, and then he jerks his whole body down. And him and Tim Hill, they'll be friends.
I pulled up some Volpe numbers, and he's such an interesting player.
Big year.
His bat speed this spring has been very similar to last postseason, averaging 71.3 miles per hour. It's his longest swing length. His swing length didn't change last postseason. It was 7.1 feet. Now it's 7.5. So it's a longer, faster swing. The results in spring have not been good. This is like highest whiff percentage by month. And the slash line numbers aren't great. Now, I think recently,
I was going to say, I think
been a
like
lot better.
as far as on-field results, at least that are easy to track, I think he's been better the last week or two, but
I think
can't
so
say I
as
followed
well.
that close.
But,
At least hit a couple homers.
I'll do the last 2 weeks, and maybe it
Come on.
toggled down. No, it's same speed and length, but whiff is really high. No walks at all. Has he walked this spring?
Didn't we look into it and like kind of nobody was walking?
Yeah, for a while nobody was walking, and I wonder if
Spring training, you want to get your swings in.
4 walks this spring. 743 OPS. But no batting average, no on base.
Yeah, so it's interesting. I'm curious, what is he going to be? Because he's fast, so like, let's get on base.
Find a way.
Right?
Be good at something offensively.
I agree. Get on base?
I'd love to be able to say what he does offensively.
I feel like you should work on taking walks in spring, but I'm not a pro athlete, never been. And maybe I just don't know anything.
So you've never been pro athlete?
Never been one, no.
You've never been a pro athlete.
Yeah, never been. I'm not a pro athlete. I've never been one.
Like it was like I've never been for the athletes. I've never been pro athlete. Yeah.
It's a good
I
catch.
dabble.
Right.
Back and forth.
Right.
Yeah, no one's walking? No, I got something wrong here. Something's wrong in my search.
All right.
Jazz was walking a ton. Nestor game too, huh?
Yeah, that's
wild.
fun. It's a fun follow-up to opening day.
Highest walk percentage this spring belongs to, of people who actually had at-bats, Trent Grisham. 25%.
Let's go, Trent.
Judge, 17%. Awful spring for Judge.
Got the homer.
Yeah, I don't know.
Otherwise,
no one should care about that.
otherwise that would be a thing, and I'm glad
Homer
it's
and
not.
double at the end.
Pablo Reyes, he's walking. Oswald Perazo,
Rice.
not really.
Rice had a couple.
Ben Rice, 10% walk, 324. And Volpe, 7%. So he's just not walking. Wonder if he's expanding the zone. Not walking. Okay, all right. We'll see. Fast, long swing. Did you see StatCast has a new metric? I thought this was a joke. Actually,
The feet?
the feet.
Yeah.
I saw that one, and I'm a fan of all this stuff they do, and I'll make myself a fan of this at some point. I saw that scrolling on Instagram, and I was like, is this like The Onion, like making fun of baseball stats? And then I watched it and I was like, wait, this is real?
Yeah, I
And
think
then I was like, oh.
I don't think there's a ton you can do with it. I think it's just cool to see everyone's batting stance and where they put their feet. But it'll be cool. Like, dude, remember when Rizzo would step up into changeups and it's like, oh, Rizzo's normally.
Yeah, pitch to pitch, if they change their stride, that's where it gets interesting.
Yeah.
Where can I find that? I don't know. It like showed you like Verdugo's stride was like, it was like 27 inches or something like that. Because he does the leg kick and then other people barely move. Like Goldie doesn't stride.
It was cool to see a couple in that video they posted. Devers. I didn't realize how much his legs do. He's got almost like a pitcher's throwing thing with his legs that I was like, wait, that's Devers? That's not how I picture him. And Stanton made the video, obviously, because his feet are the wrong way.
Ozzy Albies is crazy where he stands. Go watch it. It's interesting. And that's the show. So see you later. Goodbye. Go Yanks. Telegrams.
Go Yankees.
Rizzo, when he's standing on the plate, had to look cool.
Oh, yeah.